What is a lion without his pride? What is a whale without his pod? What is a monkey without his troop? What is a wolf without his pack? The answer is very simple. They are the same thing that a human being is without a tribe. Pray.
Women, but the most important goddesses were black, not just for the African now in the civilization of the Greeks. The Greek was so profoundly affected by the Africans that the goddess of chastity was a black woman, Artemis. The goddess of wisdom was a black woman, Minerva. The goddess of beauty was a black woman, Diana. And many of their great mythological figures which were critical to the vision of history, the history of the Greeks in the Odyssey, the woman who draws, who has the power to draw Odysseus and all his crew into her, is Circe, who is represented as a black woman with African features on the Greek vases. The woman who helps Jason win the Golden Fleece is a black woman, Medea. The woman who marries Perseus, the Greek hero.
Peace, family. Yo, thank you for joining us. Right? And I'm thrilled to announce the fact that we are now releasing our first free e-course. Come and learn about Gye-Nyame journey, see some of the stuff we do. Come and join the tribe. Tribe up with us and check out the free e-course. And we'll make sure that the URL pop up right about here. And it'll probably be somewhere in here. Check us out, family, because we are building. Come and learn about Gye-Nyame journey, and let's build together.
Gye-Nyame, Bombskin & Co. is the true definition of self-care, self-love, and repeat. We are what we create in this life. Bombskin & Co. chooses to create something innovative and unforgettable. Check out our website for more information.
Spirit Over Flesh LLC is a wellness-based business where we heal through words. I'm Sandra, founding business leader, and a Black
What's up, fam? What's up, fam? What's up, fam? Let me take my Corella. Woo! Almost split that up. I'm getting ready for my fast. Fast is coming about the middle of this month. I want to be done with it by Juneteenth because we're going to have us a good old time. Oh, man. We're going to kick it this Juneteenth. We're taking it down a notch. The family's invited. Extended family's invited. We're going to kick it. We will be giving out locations and letting you know what Gye-Nyame Journey is going to provide. But I'm telling you right now, all the babies going to have those turkey hot dogs. Hell, I'm even thinking about throwing in some extra money. I want to do, and I don't even eat crab. But I'm going to eat crab on Juneteenth. You know why? Because I'm thinking about doing a crab boil. Going to a place, grabbing us a bunch of crabs, get a whole thing of crabs, the whole thing, getting a big canister and boil them bastards. You know what I'm saying? And watch black folks just come out the woodwork. Frying, we're going to have chicken, barbecuing. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have a good time. We're going to celebrate Juneteenth. Right? You know what I'm saying? We're going to celebrate Juneteenth. We're going to kick it. We're going to have a good time. We're going to create memories. We're going to have discussions. We're going to meet new people. That's what it's about. And it's going to be in a small venue, very small venue, smaller than most of you are used to, but it's going to be hot. It's going to be nice. It's going to be beautiful. Bring your children. Like I said, we're going to let you know what dishes we bringing. We want to know what you going to bring. Because like I said, you know what I'm saying, walk up in the house. Don't walk up in the house empty-handed. Bring a gift for the house. Bring a gift for Gye-Nyame. Bring some food. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying? You achieve nothing without sacrifice. Nothing. But let me make sure my voice is on. So let me make sure y'all understand. We are now standing in the congregation of the mighty, the home of the stubborn minority, the place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. I am your host, Brother Hatim, and of course you know that this is Folk Tales for Grown Folks. And as usual, it is a heart of a simple production. All day, every day. And if you've been following our timeline on Facebook or Instagram, you've seen a video that was posted. It was originally posted by Don Gray, where you had the hyenas attacking the lion. See, because people don't understand. See, I'm not necessarily always on the side of the Simbas. I'm not always on the side of the Simbas. Those hyenas was doing what hyenas do. The lions and the hyenas was fighting over food. The lions probably took down the prey. The hyena came up to get what was left over. And that lioness got out of place. She was by herself. And she like, I'm a lioness. Why? Get the fuck out of here. And those hyenas were like, no, lady. You don't roll like that around these parts. And they got on her. And I love that. That's that tribe shit, right? We hyenas. We got our place. You a lion. You got your place. You intercede on our place. We're going to bite your ass up. We're going to chew you up. Matter of fact, you might be the next meal. Keep on messing with us. And them hyenas got into it. They got into it. They got into it. Right? They acted as a tribe. But when the lion tribe saw what was going on, see, they don't call them tribes, they call them prides. When that lion pride saw what was going on, they got out. So you had two tribes that was battling. And we have to understand that the whole world is moving in tribes, and we trying to move as individuals. We done fell for the okie doke. We done fell for the okie doke. I want you to understand, family. It's tribes that's able to bring truth. It's tribes that's able to bring change. It's tribes that are able to dominate industries. It's tribes that are able to run states and run cities and run nations. Understand, it's tribes, people with vested and similar interests that are able to come together and drop their differences and be able to face up to the enemy and look that motherfucker dead in the eye. Be like, it is what it is. That's what it takes. So right now, we are here, and we're going to talk about this proverb. I ain't going to hold you up too long. The black lines are open. Let me make sure people know the black lines are open. The black lines are open. If you are on one of the platforms that does not allow me to send messages, the black line number is 614-556-4535. Once again, the black line number is 614-556-4535. Please, please, please feel free to call in, share your wisdom. Let's grow. Let's grow, because one of the posts I made today was that we have people with insight in our community, with gold in our community, with mental gold, mental platinum, mental bitcoins in their head, and they just sitting on the shit. This goes back to one of the stories about the miser and the gold. Y'all remember that? See, y'all need to start. I'm not just doing these folk tales so that we could just let them pass and forget them. The miser and the gold is a story about a miser who had gold, and rather than use it and make it grow within his community and get that reciprocity flowing in the community, the miser decided to bury the gold.
And every day he went to the spot to watch where the gold was. And one of his servants realized that as cheap as he was, it's a reason that this cheap bastard is going to the same spot every day. So the servant decided to dig up the gold. And the servant one night went out and dug up the gold, got the gold, and ran off with it. The miser came the next day and started screaming and crying and talking about the misery and what was going on. Understand the message in the stories. And his neighbor or somebody was nearby came by and heard the tale of the miser. And they looked at him and said, why not just take a rock and bury it where the gold was and continue doing the same thing? Because the rock will be just as useful to you as the gold was. Oh my God. Some of y'all are misers with the wisdom, with the knowledge, with the information. Y'all misers and y'all holding it up. I don't know why. Right? We ran into them. It's people that's like, they'll cut off a call in the middle of the call because they believe that what they're talking about is so sacred and so secret that the motherfucking enemy don't know. Family, our enemy knows. They know. We got to start having conversations so we can start making them motherfuckers feel uncomfortable. Because as long as our enemy is comfortable, they're going to be able to have time to think about coming up with ways to keep us confused. The reason we have been in confusion, and the way we have been in confusion is because our moves have been predictable. They could predict what we do. They could predict the conversations we could have. They could predict when we're going to fall out. And they could even encourage some of that shit. But when we start operating differently and we start operating in our own space and our own time, we can't be beat. We can't be beat. History shows us this. You can't stop what the Creator has laid down. You can't stop what our ancestors have already put in place. Our ancestors are waiting for us. I assume that everything I'm doing, they already know. They already know. So I'm moving as if I don't give a fuck. I ain't doing nothing stupid. I ain't doing nothing illegal. If they come get me, they're going to have to make up a new law. Period. And when they do that, that will reveal to those that are within my circle what we really facing. Because I don't think we really understand what we facing. Brother Kwame called it out the other day. He said we are in a cultural war. They do not need for our culture to arise. They do not need for us to start thinking tribally. They do not need us to start thinking in a family style and combining our families so that we can start really building here in America. They need a wayward class. They need a lost class. They need a group of servants, of automatons, of robots that they can control, because this whole system is built on that. From the very beginning, they needed individuals that they could keep ignorant and they could keep confused and keep in fear so that they could build this shit up. And you think they're going to give that up? So we are right now here tonight, Folk Tales for Grown Folks. We're going to talk about the Vain JackDaw. The Vain JackDaw. For those that want to call in, number 614-556-4535, because I really don't have a way to really tell who really out there, who really not. Because, you know what I'm saying, we need you to like, we need you to subscribe, we need you to click that bell, we need you to get busy, right? The few of y'all. Because like I said, family, I'm not trying to go for numbers. I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? As far as numbers, I really don't care. What I care about is making sure that the voice is heard, because this group might not hear it. But what I have and what I've been doing, right? Somebody in the future is waiting for this. They're going to get it and they're going to use it. They gonna understand. They gonna be able to see where I'm at, so they know. All right, cool. These are the moves that we gonna make. They gonna be able to do something with it, right? Some of y'all sitting on this wisdom. Some of y'all sitting on this knowledge. Some of y'all sitting on this understanding. Some of y'all sitting on these skills, waiting for a magic moment, not realizing that the moment is now and the magic is you. When you combine yourself with the moment, it becomes the magic moment. All right. So right now we are on the JackDaw. The Vain JackDaw. Jupiter determined, it is said, to create a sovereign over the birds, and made a proclamation that on a certain day they should all present themselves before him, when he would himself choose the most beautiful among them to be king. The jackdaw, knowing his ugliness, searched through the woods and the fields and collected the feathers which had fallen from the wings of his companions and stuck them in all parts of his body, hoping thereby to make himself the most beautiful of all. When the appointed day arrived and the birds had assembled before Jupiter, the jackdaw also made his appearance, his many-feathered finery. But when Jupiter proposed to make him king because of the beauty of his plumage, the birds indignantly protested, and each plucked from him his own feathers, leaving the jackdaw nothing but a jackdaw. It's so many angles to hit that from, family. So many angles to hit that from. But the first one I want to hit, and let me make sure that you're able to see. I want y'all to be able to read the story for yourself. I want you to be able to read this for yourself, because this story right here is one that I think we are in need of right now. We really are in need of this one right now. So I'm looking at the Townsend version. And this is the one I read right here. Now, there's other versions. I want us to focus on Jupiter determined. For those that don't know, Jupiter would be Zeus. In Greek, this is Roman. In Greek mythology, it was Zeus, king of the gods, to create a sovereign over the birds, and made a proclamation that on a certain day they should all present themselves before him, when he would himself choose the most beautiful among them to be king. So now, they're basing the leadership, because the king is the leader, the sovereign is the leader. They're basing it on beauty. Already we know something is off, right? Because if you are elevating people for just physical features to be a leader, you already fucking up. You already losing. Right? I'm just letting y'all know. Right? Because that's the same as having a leader just because he's the strongest. See, a lot of times we got to learn to look below the surface. See, even though Jupiter wasn't able to look below the surface, family, sometimes you need to take time to look below the surface. Many of you are making life decisions based on surface circumstances rather than being able to look at what's at the soul. A lot of y'all are picking leaders on surface standards rather than understanding the ancient wisdom of our ancestors and being able to look at the soul and look at the character of the individual that you put in position. Jupiter is going to, a West Asian deity, by the way, is going to proclaim a deity, a king, because a king is basically a deity. It's a ruler over everybody, off the fact of beauty. Now, let me be clear with you right now. I want to be clear, right? Let's be clear. In Gye-Nyame, we talk about relationship as a three-legged stool. Let me see. Let me see if I can find a picture for y'all. We're going to go to Google, because I want y'all to visualize this. Three-legged stool. We want to pick. There it go. We're going to go to images. I want a three-legged stool. Let's look at, now, come on down. There we go. We want to just look. Now, y'all see that? Can y'all see that good? Relationship is a three-legged stool. Now, the seat of the stool is the relationship. This is where when you have a firm relationship, you will be able to sit down because the three parts of relationship or the three legs of the relationship are in place. We have respect, responsibility, and reciprocity. The three R's of relationship. Now, a king is able to sit on the throne because the king is able to, or a leader should be able to respect the relationship with the people. Now, Jupiter is putting in place, listen, Jupiter is putting in place a ruler of the birds that is not being crowned because of his relationship with the people, but on his beauty. And the next issue is that there is someone or something outside of the birds that are declaring something as royalty. Do we not get that in our own community? Is that not the relationship we have? Is not Zeus declaring who is the leaders and who are the spokespersons for us? We have whole movements that are being crowned because Jupiter says that's the way it's to be. So because Zeus is saying that's what, because a West Asian god is telling us who it's supposed to be. And people don't find that bothersome. You find that trouble. You don't find it troublesome. You just like They're picking the finest looking bird amongst us. All right, let's get back to the story. Now, the three legs of the relationship are respect, responsibility, and reciprocity. If any one of these legs on a relationship stool are not in place, the stool falls. Y'all see that? You see that? Any relationship in your life that does not meet this, whether we're talking about a personal, intimate relationship, a family relationship, or, you know what I'm saying, a leadership relationship, your relationship with an organization, any of them that don't meet that standard, the stool is going to fall over. The top or the seat of your relationship is not sturdy, so you need to find another one. That's a challenge for us. We're in a relationship with America, but America don't want to respect us. It don't want to take responsibility in our relationship, nor do it want to practice reciprocity in our relationship. And we find people that want to make us believe that that shit is okay. They have not practiced respect, responsibility, or reciprocity with us. Some of you are in relationships right now where a person is not practicing respect, responsibility, or reciprocity with y'all ass. Some of y'all are in jobs right now where they're not practicing respect, responsibility, or reciprocity with your ass. In our communities, we have relationships with other communities that do not, and we do not have respect, responsibility, and reciprocity with those groups. We have organizations that's running rampant in our community that don't have respect, responsibility, or reciprocity with our relationships. And we wonder what the fuck is wrong with us. We haven't mastered the basics and codified the basics of relationships, and we wonder what's going wrong. And then on top of that, we got leaders being declared outside of us. We got leaders being picked by popularity. Now, if America want to do that, America could do that. But in our communities, it need to be different. In our communities, it need to be different. We need to go back to traditions. Whether you call it chief, king, or however you want to call it. However you want to call it, whether you call it council or whatever, however you want to call it, but whatever leadership piece is there, it has to have the relationship of respect, responsibility, and reciprocity. Society is based on those. Groups are based on those. And if any one of them is gone, what can we say? What can you say? All right. So, back to the JackDaw. So first off, the issue is that they got somebody outside themselves. I don't give a damn what this God calls himself, right? He's outside of them. He's picking the king. He don't even care to know what type of birds they are. I'm just looking for the prettiest. I want the prettiest bird. I want the loudest bird. I want the bird that's out front. I want the bird that's bold enough to just stand up here. You don't even have to be smart. You just got to be a bird. A pretty bird. We got so many pretty, well-spoken motherfuckers right now. I ain't doing shit for you. Right? You got pretty people that they put in positions to make you feel comfortable because you look at those positions and think that it's a possibility for you to get there. But let me go on and break it down for you, fam. It ain't gonna happen. Especially if you listen to podcasts like this, especially if you listen to broadcasts like this, because you think you are too dangerous. You don't have the pretty feathers to be put in this position. You don't have the proper training to be put in this position. You don't kowtow and look for the leadership to come from an outside source. The whole bird kingdom is fucked up. But anyway, y'all know y'all already know how I am, so I don't even care. All right. When he would, Jupiter determined, it is said, to create a sovereign of the birds, and made proclamation that a certain day they should all present themselves before him, when he would himself choose the most beautiful among them to be king. A lot of people read that name and problematic. Those of you in Gye-Nyame, you know that shit is already problematic. Why is it somebody outside the birds choosing the leadership for the birds? Come on now. That's the shit we in right now. That shit is unjust. That shit is not right. And if the birds accept it, that's good for the birds. But we got to be smarter than the birds. That's all I ask for my people. I ask for us to be smarter than the birds. But anyway, the JackDaw, knowing his own ugliness. Why is the JackDaw ugly? Let's go and look up a JackDaw. We're going to go back here. We're going to type in the word JackDaw. I want y'all to see something real quick. Those of you that's already on Spreaker, you already know. Oh, I put the JackDaw. I need to just put JackDaw. Oh! The JackDaw, knowing his ugliness. It's a black bird. Hey. So now you got to ask the question, why is the JackDaw ugly? What makes him different than any other birds? I mean, that's a pretty bird to me. Look at them eyes. Look at the gray around there, the dark. Look, he even got different colors that rise up. What makes the JackDaw ugly? Just saying. So the JackDaw knowing his ugliness. Question. Who taught the JackDaw that he was ugly? Who told the JackDaw that he was ugly? Where is that coming from? The JackDaw, knowing his own ugliness, searched through the woods and fields and collected the feathers which had fallen from the wings of his companions and stuck them in all parts of his body, hoping thereby to make himself the most beautiful of all. So this JackDaw started doing things to pretty himself up. He got the fluffy feathers. He got the non-fluffy feathers. He got the red feathers, the blue feathers. He started putting on all types of finery he started putting on makeup. Or she started putting on makeup to make herself be able to not only fit, but to rise above all the other birds so that the outsider can judge her or judge him as the most beautiful. Does that shit sound familiar to you? Call-in lines are open, 614-556-4535, because I'm almost done. And like I said, I you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I just need to drop a message. I can't be waiting for people to get on the lines no more, because obviously I'm not interested. But anyway, it's cool, though. You know, because like I said, this is for prosperity. You know what I'm saying? My son was just over here, and my daughters will be able to catalog. This will be legacy. This will be legacy. Right? When the appointed day arrived, the birds had assembled before Jupiter, and the jackdaw also made his appearance, and his many-feathered finery. But when Jupiter proposed to make him king because of the beauty of his plumage, the birds indignantly protested, and each plucked from him his own feathers, leaving the jackdaw nothing but a jackdaw. But a jackdaw was enough. You was enough. With all the finery. You was enough without the perms. You was enough. This is a story that is directly geared towards us. Directly geared towards us. You are enough. You are in relationships that are not built on the 3 R's. As a matter of fact, all the R's are gone, so you don't even got a relationship. You have been miseducated about yourself, and you're starting to believe it, and it's starting to flow through us in a generational fashion. We can see it coming up in our children that are very young, that should know nothing about what's going on outside in the world because the parents are supposed to be their major input, but it's no longer like that. And we're trying to, and as we keep going, we start seeing our children younger and younger, trying to put on the feathers of other birds. Whether it's the feather of the hair, or whether it's the feather of the lighter skin, or the bigger eyes, we see it, but we don't want to call it for what it is. And because we don't want to call it for what it is, what we end up doing is we end up robbing ourselves because we're trying to kowtow ourselves to an outside leadership. We're trying to kowtow ourselves to something that don't work for us. We're trying to kowtow ourselves to a relationship that does not exist. It's not healthy. And not only do we exercise it in our independent life, but in our group life, we manifest it fully. To a point where we will go to blows to support candidates that do not support us, that do not support our cause, that do not want to have a relationship. They just want to fucking leave. They don't want to invest in you. Reciprocity. They don't want to have responsibility with you. They just want you to have all the responsibility. They don't want to respect you, but they need and desire and demand your respect. And the only thing I'm saying is, when we going to start listening to Aesop? When we going to start listening to our ancestors' proverbs to free us? As a matter of fact, I ain't going to ask the question no more. I opened up the line, 614-556-4535. Nobody appeared to pick it up. Maybe my show is late. And we got no comments. So family, I'm gonna get up because I could go and cut this up and I could put this on my different channels as long as it's not over an hour. I could take little snippets out. So I'm not gonna bore y'all or hold y'all up. But family, it was a great talking with you tonight, and hopefully some of y'all get this and some of y'all get the message, and if not, it's cool. So this brother Hatim, I'm out.